I don't want to give Shannon the time of day.
I will try to make sure that there's not dead bodies being dragged around.
I just don't want it to happen to other people.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be diving into this whole Channon Rose and surrogacy agency drama. We got some people coming out with receipts, and we're just going to get into all the deets. So grab some snacks because it's a juicy one today.
I wanted to let you guys know we've been sharing our journey. I wanted to let you guys know kind of where we're at right now, and yeah, sucks. But within minutes after posting that video where I'm pretty sure I gave no details, just saying that, like, you know, some stuff happened that made us have to terminate our contract, that we're no longer working with her. Like, this was a public journey. I was gonna have to post at some point that, you know, we're no longer working together. Well, she didn't like that video. I guess it didn't make her agency look good. I wasn't even thinking about that, to be honest, but we got this text where she says to, like, remove it, and she's trying to say that, like, she's protecting patients, but honestly, like, in a text, they told me they were no longer gonna work with patients after what she did. And so I was, like, kind of confused, and then I just got angry because I realized that, like, I had asked Megan questions about certain things, and, like, she just wasn't responding to me at all. And so I was upset that she was, like, starting to control, like, what I was allowed to say and not allowed to say on social media. Like, I'm allowed to say all good things, but the second I have something not good to say, like, I'm not allowed to post it. And so I responded with this message. And I just said, we tried calling you, you didn't answer. I asked you days ago about reimbursements from her breaching the contract, and you never responded. I wasn't going to post anything until I found out she was pretending to be my surrogate after we told her we were no longer working with her. She gave me no choice. She's still continuing to call and text. I'm blocking out this person's name to protect them nonstop and other people I know. She's doing things that financially and personally put me in jeopardy.
Okay, and the clicky little mouth saliva splashing around on that tug in there, like, it just sounds so, maybe I have misophonia and it's undiagnosed. Is it just me, or is that also driving you nuts? Like, Shannon just needs to swallow, and we all know she knows how, so, like, we just need her to, like, clear her throat a little bit, clear her mouth, so that we can actually listen through these texts that we're going back and forth, because that splashing around in there is just distracting.
Make me look bad. I also agreed not to give details about what happened, and I didn't, but enough to warn others so this doesn't keep happening to other people, because I didn't want patients to do this again, because she had already done this to somebody before us, and I learned the hard way. So it's really messed up, and none of this should have happened. And I went on to tell her that I no longer felt comfortable working with her, and said, that being said, we don't feel comfortable continuing to work with your agency now after everything that has happened and how bad things got out of hand. Travis will be sending you an email to let you know how we plan to move forward. Wanted as your case manager to all your questions and updates. To my knowledge, Patience is not pretending to be your surrogate. Like, she's completely gaslighting me here, by the way. We had an agreement to be respectful of privacy for all. Patience has not posted anything about the situation. Please remove your post. If people reach out individually, you can respectfully tell them the match is broken. So you can see she's being, like, so controlling over that video, which I didn't even think was that big of a deal, but apparently she really didn't like it, because I can guarantee you she didn't care about patients. She was just caring about her agency, because, again, they weren't planning on working with patients after all of this. And yeah, I was just, like, really shocked that she was texting me this. And then she said, if you don't plan to rematch through our agency, that is okay. We can process you a refund of a portion of the agency fee, but you must keep the agreement of not to post publicly. Please remove the post. So, like, nowhere did I ever say that, like, I was not going to post publicly from the very beginning. Like, this was a public journey. She even admitted that herself.
So then Shannon was fully aware that this was for a docuseries. Funny how she hasn't mentioned that yet. I really do think that since her channel was dying and she was hurting for the views, let's face it, like, Travis isn't making a dime, hasn't made a dime in years, like, except for, like, his real estate stuff, but he's a firefighter right now and he's going through training, and I know that they don't get paid anything when they're on volunteer basis at first, so she needs to make some coin off some views. And what better than a crazy scandal that of surrogacy, like, you know, just like all the eyeballs on that docuseries bringing traction to her channel. So I really do think that, like, this could have been an opportunity for, like, constructing a little drama.
There's just too much that I can't just, like, sit and keep watching happening. So I don't want to give Shannon the time of day. I don't want her to have, like, be rebuttaling and just this back and forth drama stuff, but I just feel like I need to get my side of the story out, even if it's just a little bit of receipts and stuff that I have from what's been going on, and, like, along the process of me being cleared and everything. I've had quite a few families actually reach out who want me to be their surrogate, so there's no issue with me being a surrogate and stuff like that. So yeah, I am going to make sure I have everything put together so that I don't have to keep posting all of this stuff.
Oh, honey, you're going to be getting the back and forth stuff, because if there's anything that Channon is good at, it is spreading the drama all the way out, getting as many views as possible. As we know, her channel was like dying. It was getting like 1.5K views, maybe 2K views. It was like a miracle. She would break like 6K. And then just recently with the surrogacy drama, like just interviewing her surrogate got 10K views. And this last video that she just posted, at the time of me filming this, she had 26,000 views already. So she's getting the views now. She knows exactly what she's doing, and she's absolutely going to put out a response or a rebuttal to whatever Patience is saying.
And she's no longer going to be on the show because she took it a little too far. But that was a big part of it. I do actually have a text message from Channon saying, I'm filming all our conversation between Patience about the birth control pills. We can use it on the show. So that was part of it. And I actually am really happy that the world is having these conversations about surrogacy journey and being educated about how these things work and the pitfalls that could happen and the joyous.
See, there you go. Once again, using the little bit of drama on the show of not taking like a single birth control pill. Channon mentions a lot of the time that with IVF, it is absolutely crucial to take every single pill at every single, like at the exact same time. Like you have a very short window when you could take it, or else it could screw everything up. But she wasn't taking IVF meds yet. Birth control pills are a lot more forgiving, and especially that's just to control like when your period comes. So the doctor saying that, you know, Patience's lack of one pill that she took was not going to interfere at all with the cycle, and that sometimes your period does come earlier or later just naturally. This could have been something that Channon wanted to kind of twist to get like a little edge, something a little bit spicier, so to speak.
But I just feel like I need to get my side of the story out, even if it's just a little bit of receipts and stuff that I have from what's been going on.
I'm really curious as to what receipts Patience is going to come out with. Like, she says that she's getting everything, like all her ducks in a row, and then she's going to put everything out there. So I'm going to keep following the story just to see what doesn't line up. There's just something fishy about the whole Shannon's side of the story that raises some red flags.
I will try to make sure that there's not dead bodies being dragged around upstairs while I do this update video. Couple other questions I wanted to address is, did I break HIPAA by discussing Shannon's medical information by talking about her mental health? So Channon has a huge amount of videos on her YouTube, and she talks about her own mental health. She talks about what her diagnosis is of Addison's disease. She talks about all of these medical things. So if I talk about something that she has told the world about, that's not breaking HIPAA, confidentiality. They wanted to openly discuss and document everything so that one of the goals was to be on this show. The producers were interested in them to feature them on this show among a few other matches that we follow. So I didn't break any HIPAA confidentiality, and that's a big deal. We would not do that for any matches that are not the ones that have openly asked to be shared about online and share that same information themselves online.
Absolutely agree that when you put your things out in public, like your mental health struggles or your medical struggles, like that could be full reign for someone to speak about. However, I'm not sure if that still violates HIPAA because you're a medical professional, whether that stuff is made public or not. That seems a little sus to me. And also,
another question, why did I bring up Shannon's colorful past? So in surrogacy, the surrogates are background checked, and so are the parents.
it makes 100% sense that a, fertility advocate, would be looking into the past of someone to make sure that both parties are okay. You don't want to be getting, a PDF file, pregnant, or having a parent trying to use surrogacy to get their own child that way. So you do definitely have to look into the past of somebody. And I know with a lot of adoption agencies, they can kick out parents from having, inappropriate pasts, kind of like what Channon has. So for your fertility advocate to even take her on as a client does show that they were either doing it for the monetary reason or the exposure that she had with her followers and what they were going to get from the docuseries, or they were showing mercy as to someone's past, everybody has flaws and they were going to overlook it. But let's be real, a business is a business. At the end of the day, they're going to go where the money goes.
Also, somehow, Surrogate Sam has been dragged into this whole scenario. I don't really know why. I guess Channon says that we are getting paid a cut, like Sam's getting paid a cut to refer her in. That's nonsense. We're not paying Sam money. Yes, a couple years back, Sam did a beautiful Blessed with a Baby journey. We waived our agency fully for Jake and Kinsey, the parents she matched with, and Sam decided to waive her compensation for Jake and Kinsey completely. So it was a beautiful journey all around. Does YFA ever pay content creators for making content for them? Yes, we do, actually. Not everyone that posts for us gets paid, but we do recognize that people that make content, content's not easy. It takes time, it takes creativity, and for great content that's educational, that shows the public the beautiful things that surrogacy is and how journeys can go well, yes, we do compensate for that content creation, and we fully disclose that very clearly. And Sam and I actually do have a business together. It's called Make Families. We talk about this a lot, where we help place surrogates with vetted ethical agencies if they're not a great fit for YFA. So that's all out in the open, always has been, nothing shady there.
I mean, it's pretty common sense these days that influencers are used by companies and agencies to promote their business. Like, it is a really cheap and easy, quick way to market somebody's business. So it is not surprising to me that this agency uses influencers to promote them. Dan and Sam, as far as like their referral from Channon to this agency, that's what they're talking about right here. They're heavy in the influencer market, and they probably have worked with this company in the past. However, from your Fertility Advocate, they clarified that for this specific transaction that they were going to do with Channon, they did not accept a cut. They did not get commission. They did not get paid for Channon to come to this agency and use them for surrogacy.
And then final question is there some sort of gag order where people are not allowed to talk about YFA in a negative light or give a bad review? No. Actually, you can go give a bad review if you want to, and I was actually flattered that Channon said that she looked and couldn't find bad reviews about YFA because, not everyone will love us. That's okay. But there is nothing in our contract that says you cannot put a bad review online.
So the gag order that she's referring to here is something that Channon touched on, saying that it was in her contract that she cannot speak illy about this company. That perhaps had to do with the fact that Channon was working with them. So she herself said she wasn't taking a cut, but they were going to be waiving the transfer fee. It was like $10,000 or whatever that she was going to get off of her fees that she would have to pay this company, and just so that she could promote them. So since there was like a business transaction thing going on there, perhaps that's what they're referring to in Shannon's contract, that she had to remain not silent, but just not speak ill about this company. However, any other normal human being that is going through this company for surrogacy purposes, they can go ahead and go online and write a negative review. However, it is really cool to see that even Channon spoke out about how she couldn't find one. So they're obviously a reputable company. They obviously have had many successful surrogacies, and the common denominator here is the drama from Channon Rose. That just seems to be following her everywhere she goes. Ooh, that rhymed. Okay, extra points for me. That means you have to subscribe. Okay, thanks. Bye.
To take a medication called estrase, and mind you, I had paid for all these medications and had them like shipped to her overnight way prior to this, so she had everything she needed. It was all paid for by us, and she had originally told us that like her dad was like sick with cancer, and like she needed to go visit him. And so I was like, oh my God.
Okay, so this video that Channon put out on YouTube is extremely long. It's extremely long-winded, and I'm going to give you the cliff notes. Basically, she was saying that since Patience's dad was sick, that she had to go, out of town and she wasn't going to be available, and that Channon offered to just hold off another month to do the transfer or to start the IVF process, which happens way before transfer, way when you start the medicine, which is the estrase that she's referring to in this clip. And Patience said that was simply not true, that she had told her that, they were probably talking in confidence, and she had told her in passing that they think her dad might have gotten cancer, that he was really worried that he was going to be getting testing done, that he was worried about having cancer because of something medical going on with him. However, when she went to go see him, it wasn't because she had to go take care of her sick father, then she was going to be all hands on deck. It was simply just like a visitation. And Patience was very clear about that she did not make it sound like it was urgent, like that she had to go, like that she had to see him. Like if it was going to be a problem, she wouldn't have gone. So for Channon to be using this as like a ploy is just very manipulative. Like she's trying to manipulate the audience to kind of see how this was so irrational for Patience to be asking. Just food for thought there. I'm going to play a couple other clips from almost that like hour-long video that Channon posted, which, by the way, your whole excuse of why you couldn't post the video between you and Patience, like, conversing out so that nothing is out of context, was that it was 2 hours long, and that's why she wouldn't post it. Yet she goes around and she posts a 1 hour long video of just her talking and just her side of the story. Okay, girl, like, let's not play the audience here. Like, we know what you're doing. You're trying to only let people see your side of the story, and if there are holes in the story, she's definitely not going to be showing us some behind the scenes conversations where receipts can be proven and all the things. So anyway, I'm going to play a couple other clips from that are relevant, and then you're going to tell me what you think.
Our surrogate admitted to not taking it on time. So when you do IVF, it's very important to take your medications at the same time, and to not like skip or forget medications. Like, this is a very big deal. Also, it was a big deal for us because it was our last embryo. So we wanted to make sure that, everything was being done properly. And also, like, we're paying a lot of money to make sure like that it's being done properly. To be honest, I just feel like we shouldn't have even had to worry about that. So when we found out and she like admitted to us that she was not just not taking it as prescribed, she was just like not taking it all some days. Not just that, but like how you need to be like staying in town. I just don't want it to happen to other people. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's a lot of surrogacies that have gone really well for this agency, but that might have been because like no issues came up and I don't know, they got lucky. Or maybe in Sam, there's multiple influencers that she's working with that are promoting this, and I don't know if they're getting paid. Do you know what I mean? From the agencies. I don't know if they are, but I'm just assuming that they are based off of like some of the screenshots I've gotten. And not just that, but like there have been multiple people who have come out saying that they've also had really bad experiences with this agency.
Overall, this seems slimy, doesn't it? It seems like there's something that, and Shannon's notorious for making a drama stretch for even, now this is all alleged, okay, but even falsifying drama to make videos. Like her wedding drama, if you guys have seen her since then, like the influencer that she supposedly sued for over $200,000 because they, stole from her wedding or whatever the drama was there. Honestly, I'm not going to placate to these videos because it's just not something I'm interested in, but there has been many people that come out and say like, oh, Shannon's trying to cause problems and like make drama and like, to make content because that's her content. Her content is to come up with story times and the dramatics. And if she isn't having normal drama in her life, if dramatics aren't playing out just like naturally in the world, then she's going to create them because she needs the money. She needs the views. So that's kind of my 2 cents with the whole thing. Here's another example of the drama that Channon created. Now, obviously, this was just something that naturally happens. Okay, so she ordered from a company these hair bandana things, and the company didn't want her posting videos or pictures with the item because they did not like her past in animal cruelty. They didn't want a tie to that. So a company has every right to not want to be associated with a public figure if they don't want to. Like, look at Nike and the Kanye situation, right? So they didn't want to work with Channon. She made this whole thing where she was crying online, made tons of videos about it, even to the point where she started creating these lies about dad, the dad podcast, Josh guy, and like saying these untrue things just to make him look bad because he had come out and made a video of her. So this is why I'm like a little also hesitant with the things I say about Channon. Obviously, everything is just my opinion. Everything is just like, it could be I'm putting in the clips of what I'm referring to here because I don't want to be attacked either. Although I'm like a tiny YouTuber, I have like 3 people that follow me. So like, if you want to join the club, please subscribe because I would love for this family to grow. But the fact is, I'm not a big YouTuber by any means at all. I'm not even monetized yet, okay, guys? So like, I'm not making money off of this video at all. This is just something that I was interested in that I wanted to talk to you guys about because it's always interesting to go down these rabbit holes where these influencers try to create the drama around them so that they can get clicks and views. Anyway, with all that said, guys, I would love to hear back from you guys. I always love hearing from you in the comments. It makes my day when I hear that you guys liked the video and that you appreciated what I put out there. So if that is the case, please let me know or hit that like button so that I know that you liked it. And I appreciate you guys being here. And I hope to see you guys in the future. Bye.
Glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you